I got asked about when I thought season 3 of JJK would come out and how much of the manga it would cover. So let's talk about it, but spoilers beware, as we're going to have to talk about events that haven't happened yet. Alright, before we talk about season 3 and beyond, let's talk about what we learned from seasons 1 and 2. And JJK season 1 came out in 2020, had 24 episodes, and covered chapters 1 through 64 of the manga. Season 2 came out at the end of 2023, had 23 episodes, and covered chapters 65 through 137 of the manga. So if we assume season 3 will follow a similar pattern, then I honestly expect it sometime 2025, probably in the second half of the year, which would still be a lot quicker than the jump between season 1 and 2, but that's to be expected, especially with how popular JJK is right now. And I also imagine it will cover roughly the same amount of the manga, being 60 to 70 chapters. So if that's the case, then what storylines can we expect to see in season 3? And obviously it's going to be the culling games. It's really more about when they're going to cut it off. And I think there's probably 3 options that fit within that 60 to 70 chapter range. Alright, so the first place I could see them cutting off season 3 if they wanted to skew towards the shorter end of that range and only cover about 60 chapters would be the Fallen moment from chapter 199. This is right after Angel reveals her whole mission and that she just wants to take out the Fallen, and if they can help her with that, then she'll help them free Gojo. And then Sukuna of course reveals to Yuji like, hey, I'm the Fallen, by the way. So I think that would be a pretty cool cliffhanger to leave anime onlys on. It's obviously not the craziest thing, but again, if they wanted to only cover about 60 chapters, that would be a pretty good place to stop. Now, the next place I could see them stopping is about 10 chapters later, which would give us the amazing fight between Kenjaku, Yuki, and Choso. That would be a hell of a fight to kind of end the season on as a big climax. And then the cliffhanger could be Kenjaku actually, getting his goal of capturing Tengen and finding out that they were friends, right? So that would also be a really cool cliffhanger, and again, a great moment to kind of end the season on with that fight. So I could see them doing this. But honestly, for my money, I see them ending season 3 with the Enchain moment. The iconic moment of Sukuna invoking that binding vow and swapping from Yuji's body to Megami's body. That would just be the craziest cliffhanger and would have everybody going wild. And Enchain happens in chapter 212, but they might cover a chapter or 2 after that just to get the immediate aftermath up until Sukuna and Uruume are, flying away. So I think that would be crazy. That would be perfect. It would mean they were covering a bit more than they did in seasons 1 and 2, but I think it would be easily doable. And so if we assume season 3 ends somewhere around there, then what can we assume about season 4? And optimistically, I would hope for season 4 in 2027, which is a long ways away, so we'll see, but that would be following kind of a similar time scale. And then as far as what it would cover, this is really tough because this is where the manga is right now. So it really depends on how many chapters JJK is going to end up being in total and kind of when this Sukuna fight arc is going to end, which may just be the end of the manga, or we could have a merger arc after that. It's just really hard to say. But season 4 at the least would cover Gojo being unsealed and the Gojo Sukuna fight, especially if they decided to do maybe a shorter season, instead of 24 episodes, maybe 12, and season 4 just ends after the Gojo Sukuna fight, and then season 5 could be everybody else and through the end of the manga or something like that. I don't know if they would do something like that, but we'll have to see. But yeah, in any case, Gojo unsealing and Gojo v Sukuna. But yeah, it's going to be probably 2027 at the earliest before we see anything going on in the manga right now animated. Anyways, y'all, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and special shout out to Colin for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much for the support.